My name is Phil Gaimon. I was a pro cyclist for 10 years, but at the end of 2016, I realized that I had to quit racing and get a job. I couldn't be the best at pro cycling, so I've decided to be the absolute worst at retiring.
Just for a little background, I'm headed to the Taiwan KOM challenge. I fly into Taipei, and then there's going to be a van that's going to be a way too long of a drive. It's a hill climb. It's another race. I didn't realize how many hill climb races there were until I made it my job on accident. But this isn't like a timed thing on my own schedule. This is, or I wouldn't have done it this week. This is a thing it's been going on a few years. The Taiwan Tourism Bureau puts on, and they invite a few like guest pros and media and stuff to sort of show how cool Taiwan is. And Taiwan is cool. I've been there. I know this. But now I can show you. And the way they show how awesome it is by making us suffer up a mountain. This episode is also going to be a little Blair Witch. Obviously, this trip was short notice to begin with, and there's not a budget and worst retirement ever to bring a camera guy to Asia. So we're gonna film this Blair Witch style with a handy cam, and we're gonna deal with it. Nope. There we go.
Unfortunately now, I've been doing YouTube for a while. I'm good at this, all right? I'm really good I'm a great cameraman. I know all these terms like B-roll, so B-roll is where when you film like a pretty view of the mountains, and then you put voiceover behind that. So there's like my audio for me talking. You can see that right now. Let's do one right now. See, this is voiceover, so I can tell the story while you're looking at something else. So we're gonna do some of that for this one too. Oh, is it boring? Is this boring to stare at me looking at my sweatpants on a flight? Is it boring me looking at that screen? Is it too much time? Well, try being me. Try being me for 14 hours flying. Worst retirement ever also doesn't have a budget for business class. Okay, I'm cramped back there. I'm 6'1", so yeah, deal with it.
Mrs. Robinson. Is anybody gonna get that? Remember The Graduate? No, okay, fuck it.
The problem with the Taiwan KOM Challenge, I was super excited to do this event. When they invited me, I was like, I've always wanted to do this. And it was great prize money to win the thing. And who's going to beat me up a hill? Nobody. I was very excited, and then I looked at the date, and I was like, I have to leave the day after my fondo. And the fondo is crazy, and it's a lot of work. And I was hoarse and tired. But I did it. I had to. That's when the hill climb is. So I went for it. And then I was also distraught when I heard that Vincenzo Nibali was invited to the KOM challenge, because that's exactly who could beat me. That guy could beat me. If you don't know who he is, Vincenzo Nibali is one of the best climbers in the world. At times the best. He won the Giro once. Did he? Hang on. Let me see here. Did he? Guys, he won the Tour. He won the Tour. So I have to race a guy who won the Tour de France, the French Tour, not the Tour de. I won the Tour de Big Bear last year. You know what I mean? So you go through all that long flight. And then you sit in a van. When you think you're done traveling, you sit in a van.
Okay, tell me again where we are.
I think we're in Taiwan. I just looked at a map, and that way is Hawaii.
I was joined by an old friend, Daniel, who was there. I don't know if he was there as a bike racer or as a writer for Yonder Journal, a manual for speed, I don't know if I was there as media racer either, to be honest.
And we're on the east coast of Taiwan, and we're headed north.
I've raced this road. I already explained this. When I was on Kenda.
You can't head north on the east coast this can't be right.
What do you mean?
In America, in the northern hemisphere,
Okay.
you can't head north on the coast and on the east coast and have the ocean on your left. That does not make sense. I'm going back to my map.
This is hard.
So we must be on the west coast. That doesn't make any sense.
That's east, according to that. That's the east coast on the thing.
That's the east coast.
Then we're driving. We're not driving north.
Maybe we're driving south. That's what it is.
We're driving south.
We're headed south on the east coast.
Okay.
That's what it is.
The event hired Lee Rogers to manage it. So Lee is he was a pro cyclist forever. He settled in Taiwan in this beautiful riding area, and he's made it his mission to show the world how cool the riding is. Just like I do in Malibu, he does in this little corner of Taiwan.
All right, we're here with Lee Rogers, who also sucks at retiring. If you can see, broken collarbone.
Shoulder.
Was a pro cyclist. Oh, it was a separated shoulder.
Separated shoulder.
Was it from riding a bike?
It was.
Okay. Yeah. So you suck at retiring.
And it's
also.
caused by a dog. So
Oh, that's not fair. What
the dog was
plenty
alright.
of dog lovers.
The dog was fine.
Try to lose it. This is a very twisty road. We've been a great place to do this. So tell us a little bit about the race and the history of it and your role here.
So I'm the communications director for the race. I've been doing this for 4 years now. The basics of the race, from 0 to 3,275 meters, which everybody kind of knows, really hard, as you know.
Yeah.
Maybe you can comment on that.
Who decided to have a race here? Was it your idea?
No, it was Gary. You know Gary Shu?
No.
He's one of the guys who works for the Taiwan Cyclist Federation. He's a big
Okay.
cyclist.
Big masochist.
Yep.
Okay.
Big into the European scene and all the culture of cycling. And then
No, he's a sadist. He might also be a masochist.
There you go, yeah.
I'm sorry.
He is a sadomasochist because he used to do it himself, and now he does it to other people.
Okay, I was right.
There you go. And he either they started working for the Taiwan Cyclist Federation or they founded the Taiwan Cyclist Federation. I'm not quite sure, but he saw the potential in this hill, and then they started the event. And it started off 8 years ago with a different sponsor, maybe only 100 and so people, all Taiwanese.
Yeah.
And it's been in its current form for the past 6 years. This is the 6th year. We've gone from those 100 people, all Taiwanese, to almost 600 this year, with more than half being foreign riders. So that reflects how popular the event has become over the past 3 or 4 years. It's just really blown up.
Taiwan cycling is like the word's getting out, but that's sort of the point of all this.
Yeah.
Tell us about the hotel where we're going, and there's a coffee shop coming.
There is indeed. Yes, thank you for asking me about that.
Yeah.
Nice prompt.
Well, listen, you earned it.
We're going to stay at Taiwan's first purpose-built cycling hotel. So it's called the Kada. In the local Taiwanese language, Kadasha means bicycle.
Kadda.
Kadda in Hualien. There's a purpose-built spinning room. There's a 25-meter swimming pool. There is in each room there's a rack for your bikes. They all overlook the ocean. It's a really, really nice place.
Someone's gonna put my bike together for me.
Someone, I don't know. Can you?
No, yeah, they
yourself?
All right.
And the owner is called Scott Sue, and with Scott we're going to be opening a cycling cafe, purpose-built cycling cafe. 2 showers so people can come and leave their stuff. We're going to have lockers in there.
That's all you need.
Bicycles everywhere. Big screen for the TV for the Tour de France. Some good
And there's
coffee.
riding to do that isn't a giant mountain. There's like lots of nice riding. There happens to be a ridiculous mountain, but there's also like a crazy network of bike paths.
Yeah.
I remember being really confused at how good the riding was in Taiwan my first time here.
Yeah, even Taipei is really good.
Yeah.
Taipei is quite small, but in each direction you're surrounded by mountains.
One of the coolest rides I ever did, I couldn't
repeat
repeat it. I don't know if it was even on Strava. It was out in Taichung.
Okay. Oh,
And
yeah.
it was just like straight up from tire factories. Just like lining these little 3-foot wide roads,
Yeah,
and there's
yeah.
temples every 10 feet and monkeys. I don't
Yeah.
love a monkey.
No, it's pretty amazing. I lived there for 8 years, and the ridge behind my house, you could do 2,000 meters in a couple of, 2 or 3 hours. It was amazing. And after 8 years, I was still getting lost.
Meters are like feet in Americans, except there's longer. Same thing.
And I have to say, I do get lost quite easily, but even though I knew it very well, there's so many roads up there. And as you say, a lot of these little farm roads do lead up. They are on Strava too, so there you go.
Okay. It's not
Go and have a
really
crack
on
at them.
Strava.
But on this side of the island, it's different over here. There's not much industry.
Mm-hmm.
There's only one road, which we're on now, the very winding road, also known as the Highway of Death, which should fill you with confidence for this trip.
That sounds nice.
Yeah, that is nice. We've got a very good driver, by the way, so we should be fine. If you're watching this, Phil's alive.
Very good driver.
Oh, there you go. Just on cue. But the riding down here, yeah, as you said. Not again. Oh, it's cookies, it'll be alright. The riding here, you're basically by the ocean, and then there's about a 3K plain, and then you got the mountains, most of which are there's no roads up there. They're not traversable, unless by foot, I guess.
Right.
They're massive machete.
What's the one called that we're racing up?
The mountain is called
Woolink.
or Hehuanshan. We go up to the first peak, which is with 8K to go.
Mm-hmm.
That little peak there is called Wuling,
Okay.
and the top peak is Hehuanshan. And we go through the tower.
I couldn't repeat that.
You can try if you just try and sort of vomit again. Hehuanshan. There you go. It's pretty close.
2 more hairpins, I'll do it again.
The gorge that we go through is called Tarako Gorge, and that's named after the Taragu Taiwanese Aboriginal family, the tribe. There's 7 tribes in Taiwan. Taragu means human being, so they called the mountain also human being, which is kind of cool because mountains are living, breathing organisms, and we should actually respect them as that as well. But it's also interpreted as magnificent and splendid.
Okay.
And when you ride up it, you'll see why that name is also given to it, because it is
Somehow I doubt it.
You might get a chance to look up,
right.
If you're not hanging off someone's wheel, some pro tour rider's wheel.
Yeah, who invited? Never mind.
It was jet lag, so day one started with a search for coffee.
Coffee place still not open. But the good news is there's a more Taiwanese than anything else that's Taiwanese in my experience is this guy.
It's fun because 7-Eleven is ubiquitous in Taiwan. They're everywhere.
Those are familiar. Those are not. Those things smell horrible.
It's cool because 7-Eleven is so familiar, but it's Taiwan, so it's also weird.
I've had that before. That's for later, but I've had that before. Almond strips and fish. Coffee decisions are hard when there's this one. There's barista latte, and then that looks like coffee. And then there's all these ones, the Dr. Brown cans. And there's black, it's like tobacco or something. I don't know, I like this guy. Like, how could you not want whatever he's selling? Even like the water is a tough decision. Like, is there a flavor in that? I'm just going, that's safe. It's that. And it's good. Okay, that worked out.
I was also joined at the hotel by a handful of other media and some pro racers who were invited to the event. We're all on a scheduled program from the Taiwan Tourism Bureau. We went for a ride through town. Also joining on the ride was Emma Pooley and Carly Taylor, among others. World champion Emma Pooley. You gotta leave that title. It's like doctor. You have to give them that title if they have that.
You guys, if you haven't noticed, I'm nailing the B-roll. I'm nailing it. Look at this. Look at that B-roll.
I was having these flashbacks to pro cycling where you eat at the hotel, you sleep at the hotel, you go for a ride, you don't see the place. You're herded around like a draft animal, if you will. I was having none of it. I had to get out. The race had a packed schedule starting the next day, so this was my chance.
The first spot was a little too, like, I wasn't sure if it was a restaurant. The second one was definitely a restaurant. It didn't look like super clean. And the third one looked like corporate. So I'm going to the not super clean one. That's not fair. They just didn't have like a printed fancy looking menu and stuff. There was a guy cooking stuff on a griddle. That's the spot. Yeah, one of those please. And this? I don't know what I'm doing, but that's kind of more fun. I wish I had a tour guide, except now I'm going to eat a bunch of stuff. I don't know what it is. This is the stuff. It's just bread with egg and some soy sauce in it. Simple. I think it was like 50 cents. This feels like a dinner food. It's good though. So this is like a sticky bun thing. It looks like egg, but I have a feeling it's not egg. I'm going in. I don't think it's egg. It just tastes like bread though. That was, I don't know, it beat the hotel breakfast. I don't have like, I'm not gonna feel like I didn't at least see a little bit or do something interesting. This was like Anthony Bourdain, except they don't know what I'm doing, and I'm not drunk.
I felt better after that meal, but I still wanted to go explore more, so I jumped on the bike. I found a temple, there was some art, there were some views, there was a coastline, and I felt better. That would have to be good enough.